Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in today. My name is Zonzi, and I'm currently the host of the Discord Showcase AMA series in the Polygon Discord. Today, we have two guests coming in from DefiEdge. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? Tell us about who you are, what's your backstory, what you were doing before you got into crypto, and what, like, all the way leading up to what got you involved with creating DefiEdge.
Yeah, so I'll start. So basically, I personally graduated in artificial intelligence from University of Edinburgh, Scotland. Started my own company in edge device AI. Worked with clients like Target, Delivery, and then was into drone intelligence, face recognition kind of stuff. Got introduced to crypto 1 year back actually, and Uniswap V3 was the first protocol I started studying actually. There was just talks of it coming. Then in May, actually, I published one of the articles that got included in Stanford for blockchain technologies about Uniswap because I had a very good sync with the AI and the Uniswap V3 consolidated liquidity. I recently started with DefiEdge as a CMO. Before that, I was actually a Uniswap strategist myself, made APR engines, backtesting, and these kind of things. But somehow DeFi wanted to use those skills into marketing as well with the combo of tech because we are building on Uniswap V3. The journey here has been quite interesting. We've done many collaborations, plus so I do marketing for DeFi at the moment, and I have my own strategy as well, which I keep people updating about those backtests. That's me. And Uniswap V3, I think I have been on the community call 4 times as a leader, which I think is the highest number, and I hope to keep that and keep going there more. So that's me.
Sweet, big, strong educational background. That's phenomenal. Um, Danger, or why don't you go next? Who are you? Tell us your backstory. Oh, hello.
Yeah, Vansh, can you go ahead? Can you hear?
I can't hear him right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I can't hear him. So in case he's not audible, I'll just tell you he's the marketing manager with us.
Yeah.
So he's right now helping me manage the Twitter Spaces. He's a good researcher with
So
us,
am I audible now?
and yeah, you are.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So I have been, pursuing currently computer science actually, and I, got exposure to the crypto space around 6 to 7 months back, and I started with Unbound Finance and DefiEdge, and currently I've been, working on the research part and, working as a marketing manager at DefiEdge, and searching for different strategies and getting protocols on board, and that's the main task that I'm doing at DefiEdge right now.
Sweet. Cool. Well, it's great to meet both of you. So let's jump into DeFi Edge. When was it started? What inspired it? Like, how long have you guys been working on DeFi Edge for?
So actually, DefiEdge started almost a year back, more than that almost. Since Uniswap V3 came, right, it opened so many possibilities that the traditional finance, was not able to offer sometimes. If you see, there is talk of options protocol and, constant liquidity was something not everybody in the space understood. It was kind of very few people understood initially. So that's what kind of inspired that, rather than just a fixed APR, for example, 6% or 7%, you just provide money and based on ratio you're getting a fixed APR. Now there was an opportunity to do something more. That's what I think started inspiring us. But there are so many possibilities that may come up. And although, as you see, the problem is it requires sometimes a special, kind of a assessment to be able to, trade very heavily profitably on Uniswap V3. So that's how we got the idea of creating this ecosystem, right? That one side strategy managers are there and the other side the LP. So we are almost like an asset management protocol built on top of Uniswap V3, right? But the point is we enabled so many features that the traditional UI doesn't have right now. Limit orders, kind of multiple rebalances, and we interact with factory contracts directly. So gas is saved. So that's what inspired. And right now it's seeing, a huge, good reception, I would say, among the people. We have received very positive feedback recently, partnered with Chainlink, and more big updates coming soon. So this has been a year full of events, and right now the product is in beta. We recently removed the whitelisting path, so definitely you can go and check out and see how you can earn better yields even in the bear market. Personally, right now my strategy is also 20% up, and I been managing for the USDC matic. So that's where we got the idea. Anything you want to add, one?
Yeah, I think it covers the whole part. But one thing that I'll like to add is that we were probably the first protocol to set up a testnet on Uniswap V3. That was like a year back when Uniswap V3 was launched, and the concentrated liquidity part quite excited us, and we were like, this is the future, and we had to try it out. So we were probably the first testnet to go live and try out what the power of Uni V3 was, and creating the strategies and stuff, setting up the ranges, and providing liquidity to that. We were probably the first to do that on the testnet.
Cool. So, do you want to like break down the whole process of using the DefiEdge platform, like what benefits it offers to users, and like how they would go about utilizing the protocol?
Okay, yeah. So basically, how it happens is you have to go to app.defiedge.io, and you can see the app and connect your wallet. There you can see multiple strategies actually, that people have been managing on different coins, the kind of fee APR and things they have been generating. And the process is very simple. You just go to that strategy. There is a deposit button, and you can deposit your money, and the liquidity manager will manage it for you. The contracts are already audited, so he can never take out your funds. He can just manage it in a safe way for you. And to see how the strategy has been performing, we show the transaction history, the kind of profits it has been generating over time. So it's as simple as that. Is there a community channel we can share these links actually? Maybe we can, I
Yeah.
can DM you and we
So
can
I've
paste these
actually
links.
dropped all your links in the voice chat text
Okay.
channel, and if you want, I feel like it'd be actually a good time to just jump right into doing a screen share showcase.
Uh, oh, sure. Oh, we are allowed to screen share. Once, can you take on the screen, please?
Yep, just a sec.
Yeah, sure. I think it's quite fun. I use the protocol myself every day, and then we have a lot of people, checking out what's the numbers are performing, how the strategies are doing, and we're close to reaching, 100 strategies and 10 billion in volume soon. So that might be something, that might be coming up in a day or two. We are crossing our fingers. Hopefully that happens soon within this week. So the platform has received good connects. Let me know once when you share the screen. Yep, just waiting for the screen to pop up. Once, are you able to share the screen? Otherwise, I'll try. Oh, I think he dropped down. One second, I'll do it. I think his internet is buggy, and that's what's causing
Okay,
the issue.
no worries.
Okay, give me a sec. I'll connect with him. Hello, Vansh, are you back? Yes, Shinch. Zonzi, is it possible that you open the link and I can show you if you're on the crypto wallet? I can just guide through the process
Oh, like if
because I'm
I
on the
I
phone itself.
yeah, I can do it here.
Yeah, I don't know why his internet is sometimes buggy and I can't hear him as well. I see that he's doing that. Thank you so much for the help. Yeah, just go to app.defi.h.io. Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
I like the dark mode. So if you see, there are so many strategies that you can invest into. Uh, you already have connected your wallet, I see.
Yeah.
And you click on since inception. That way you can see how the strategies are performing. If you see the kind of TVL we have logged, the volume that is generated over time. 99 strategies, as I said, close to one off of the 100, and 9.86 in the volume. Yep. So if you click on since inception on the right side, bottom right,
Bottom right.
above the filters line. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, a little above. Yeah. Here, just below that, since inception,
oh,
there is
right
a
here.
one.
Yeah, got it.
So you can see the profitable strategies, right? And if you see second one is mine, I've just moved the funds right now because we're making some UI changes. But there are so many others, right? If you go to the fourth strategy, that's managed by someone from Intermute, Yuri. And then we have, strategies from Keyrock and other places as well. So we're trying to create a whole ecosystem. And you can see, can you click the fourth strategy, Matic USDC? See,
Sorry, where's that?
fourth number, yeah, this one. The strategy number 4
Oh,
that says Matic
strategy.
USDC.
Yep, this one here. Got it.
So if you see, this shows the stats of the strategy, right?
Yeah.
And safe bound and the with strategy, the numbers it's showing the safe. And if you can click any one of them, you can go to the strategy page as well, right? Yeah. So if you see, this is how the strategy has been performing over time. View liquidity breakdown, and you can see ranges, the transactions he's doing. So everything is visible and public for people to see. If you can check out the tabs, it will be helpful. So everything is streamlined, and all of this is quite gas. We have articles. If you can check out our Medium, right? The kind of rebalances
Uh,
he's doing.
Hi guys, am I audible now? I think there was some glitch with my Discord. I think I had to restart it.
It's all
Am I
Yeah,
good.
audible
that's
now?
fine.
Welcome back.
Sorry for this
Yeah,
inconvenience.
yeah, no, fine. I think the platform is there. So basically, if you see overview page, here you are able to see everything, right? The numbers it's generating, the kind of rebalances the person has done, and share price is like the profit number, right? So if it's above 100, that means you're making profit on the strategy. So that means that you're able to track every progress of that, and these are Twitter verified as well. So whenever you choose a manager, you are able to see that he is trustworthy and he has a history of managing good strategies. That's where you making these decisions. And the protocol itself offers you more than 20 ranges you can create within a strategy. You can provide single-sided liquidity, limit orders if people are familiar with Gelato Ops, Chainkeeper, Chainlink Keepers, these things. Limit orders are also enabled on our platform. So we have tried our best to make it as feature rich as possible for people. So I think the best would be that people can go out and check. And also we are moving into integrations now. There are a lot of protocols we are trying to participate so that they can just manage the strategies via their UIs there. So those changes also you will be coming seeing here, and a lot of integrations with the platforms. We are trying to create a good ecosystem overall so that it's easy for someone to make good profits with a trusted partner.
All right. So anybody can come along, create an account, and then create a strategy if they'd like.
Yep, totally permissionless. And please definitely, give us the feedback, and we are, always welcome with the feedback
Right.
and suggestions. It's totally
And you
permissionless.
know what?
Anybody can
If
go in and
you, if
manage
the
money.
community, if I can just show out, and just give you a gist of what we are doing as, and I think I can screen share now. So if it's okay with you, I can, just share my screen and show how the rebalancing and everything is done.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. That sounds good.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Is my screen visible to Zonzi?
It's loading. Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay. Is
Looks
it
good.
cool? Okay. Yeah. So what we are looking here is like the dashboard that we usually work upon. So here you can see the APY numbers that you know. So we're getting 13% APY on this USDC MI Matic pair. That's completely organic. Nothing liquidity mining rewards or anything. This is completely organic. All the APYs that you see here are completely organic. And so I'll just show you how to create a strategy now. So what we have added is the Twitter verification. So all the strategy managers, who are coming here can verify their Twitter accounts. So this guarantees, some sustainability, and also, builds trust for the user and the investor that the strategy manager is, trusted. So now you can enter the strategy details here. For example, I enter Matic WE strategy, and for example, I just put a vanilla strategy right now. Then I select the pair. Then we have the Wmatic ETH. All the pairs are sorted accordingly on the basis of the volume automatically, and you can also set the closest range here. You can sort this out on the basis of Wmatic or WETH, and just go for it. Then you can add the fee address from where you want to accept the fees. Then you can adjust the management fees. Then this fees is deducted whenever an investor adds funds to your strategy. For example, I'm adding $100, so $1 would be deducted and we send to the strategy manager directly. And then we can just overview of the strategy, and then we can publish it. And so I'll now show you what the rebalance function is. That's quite the most unique part of our protocol. So if you go out to this strategy, you click on the rebalance button, and what's visible is like these ranges. So current ranges are these. I have deployed some capital to these ranges already. So now if I'm going to remove the capital from these ranges, for example, if they go out of range, or I think the market is going to go down, or even I have to set limit orders or something, then I can choose the ranges here, add the ticks, the liquidity I have to deploy. For example, I deploy 20% liquidity here. Then I set up a range. For example, I set up 110 to 120, and I deploy 20% capital here as well, right? And then I can use some deploy range here, for example 100 to 200. And if the liquidity, if the range you have added is out of range, if it's not in range, then you can also set up the limit orders as well. And you just set up here. Yeah, and for the most magical part now comes here. So you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to swap it from anywhere. You just have to confirm rebalance, and the protocol is gonna do all the swap and everything on its own, and then it's gonna add the liquidity to the newer ranges by removing the liquidity from the older ranges on its own. Right.
Yeah, that
So
makes
this
sense.
is how
It's
it's
very intuitive.
right, of course. And the best part is like what we are trying to pitch to the audience is that if you're providing liquidity to Uniswap V3, you have to do all this swap. For example, your range the ranges that you have adjusted goes out of range. So you have to remove the liquidity from there, swap your funds again, and then adjust to the ratio, and that changes every second. You have to adjust to the ratio and then deploy liquidity again. And what we are offering here is you can deploy liquidity to 20 plus ranges directly without any of the the madness or the steps extra steps that you have to perform on Uniswap V3. Also, we have integrated with Gelato, and so what happens is that basically if you know set a range that is not in range. For example, the USDC pool and WH pool is there, and for example you set a range 1100 to 1200, basically in call option acting upon Uniswap V3. And so what happens is if you set up those range and set up the limit orders, the limit order will be executed by taking the mean of 1100 and 1200, and each will be sold at that price. And if you get to the low end, you set up a limit order at 800 to 900, then each will be brought and added to the contract automatically when the price of each reaches 800. And if the strategy manager thinks that, oh no, the market is not going good and they might lose funds, and it's better to not add to the liquidity to the Uniswap pool. So what they can do is use the hold function, and what this does is it takes all the liquidity, removes it from all the ranges on Uniswap V3 wherever you have deployed, and holds it in the contract. Right. And so to give all the features, this is like a completely feature rich platform. So if the strategy manager thinks like I have to swap the function swap the assets from the strategy itself and hold in a, for example, I have to hold the funds in USDC. Right. If I have, enjoyed the profit and, realized the profit on W8, I want to hold the funds in USDC in the strategy. And whenever the time is right, I'm going to add it to WMatic or any other strategy. So what you can do here is you can swap the funds directly here, and we use 1-inch integration. So you always get the best swap rates. Then you can, if you want to privately manage your funds, you can you can even add some whitelist investors, or you can, change the privacy settings and make the strategy private. So what this
Yeah,
does
I
is
think,
that no.
yeah, Vansh, can you show the privacy part just? I think that will be important for people because sometimes people are worried, right, that somebody may copy their strategy. So we have also provided the functionality, public. And can you show the private option? So you can just make your, Uniswap strategy private as well. Can you show
Of
the
course.
private
So what
option?
happens? So what happens is you see the strategy visibility, right? So what happens is if you want to, manage your own funds privately and you don't want anyone to copy it, or you don't want any external investor to hamper with your strategy, or you don't want anyone else to add the funds to your strategy, what you can do is just, click on private, and this is going to trigger a, the metamask to open, and you sign this contract. So this is not going to show on the dashboard, and anyone with this link, this specific URL, can only open the strategy. Of course, it's going to show in the manage strategy page, and it's going to show in your portfolio as well, but these are your private strategies and no one else has access to it. And whenever you think, like I have, had enough experience of what Uniswap V3 is doing, and I now want to open it up for the public, you can just move it to public again, just sign this transaction, and it's again visible on the dashboard. And it's decentralized, permissionless, so it shows everything. Like whenever the strategy manager has rebalanced, what ranges they used, what tokens they had used, and the amount of gas they had used. So everything is visible. And the main part is that so V3, you have the option to, you know if the liquidity goes out of range, you are left with a lesser valuable asset, of course. And so what happens is the strategy manager does not have to stay on the laptop or the computer 24 hours. What we have done is we have integrated our notifications, and if you use Discord or Slack, you can get the notifications directly. And whenever your strategy goes out of range, or even if it comes back in range, you get notified, and so the strategy manager can act accordingly. And this
Yep,
is
I think
the whole
yeah,
complete system.
that's most great. Anybody has any questions initially for it? Otherwise, we can move on with the rest. But any questions regarding the UI?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to take, but hopefully we have tried to cover our best to cover everything.
So if you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. You can drop them in the voice chat text channel or the text channel for the community voices. So they're both under Polygon Voices. It's pretty cool that they integrated text channels within the voice channel. So one question I have is regarding the fee structure. So like if I was a strategy manager, I noticed there's something on the sidebar there, management fees. So am I able to set a management fee so I can profit off, like, sharing my strategies
Yes,
Of
with
there
the
course,
is
of
a
public?
course.
management fees and a performance fees. So management fees is there because the gas is also paid by strategy manager. So the liquidity provider won't be paying the gas. It's the responsibility of strategy manager to pay the gas. So he can charge a very small management fees like 1%, so that he can use that money to pay the gas. And performance fees is something you make on the profit. We have right now making some changes to the UI for that. That will be enabled again in a day. So basically, you can set like 5%, 10% of the profits only that you make as a manager. That's your profit, right?
Cool. Yeah, that makes lots of sense. And is there a I'm wondering about how you guys earn revenue. Is there a platform fee in place, or will there be one eventually?
Of course, yeah.
Not
There's
right now.
protocol
There
fees.
might be a governance though. We'll take the governance decision that if it's needed in the future. But we have integrated
Right.
the mechanism that there may be platform fees later in the future, similar to like how Uniswap has it in place, has not enabled yet. But we have kept the mechanism like that if it's needed, it can be used later down the line.
Wait,
Right
okay.
now, it's zero though. Like we don't have any near future plans right now for protocol fees, but we have enabled the functionality still.
Cool. And then, so you said something about governance. Is there plans to implement a governance structure? Is
I
there?
think yes, but once we feel the product has we're gonna go live on mainnet on in August, and then see how the direction of the product and how well it's received, and then that might be the natural plan that we might move towards is like that only because we don't have a token right now for DefiEdge at all. That's not in the near plan, but we may do it later depending on the conditions. But right now it's more about for us right now to validate the product, make help users make profits and create the ecosystem right now. Those are plans not in discussion right now, but if the community demands and how things take place, those might be implemented.
That sounds good. I feel like that's a really proper approach. Really good way to go about doing things is to like build the product before you start rolling out all that extra goodies.
Yeah, that's the main aim, try out the complete platform. We have, of course, opened it to the public, so anyone can come and try it on Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism as well. And this is going to be a great bundle for all the retail investors, all the strategy managers that are looking for some capital to invest here. And so, yeah, that sums it all up.
Cool. Well, guys, while we have Airboom and Danger here, feel free to ask as many questions as you'd like. Um, One thing I want to bring up is like how you guys stand out from your competitors. Like, I feel like there's probably other Uniswap V3 like liquidity managers within the space, but like um, I guess some ways that like off the top of my head you stand out is you aren't in, it's not like a centralized control of the strategy management. You allow anyone to come out and be their own strategy manager and you know open up their own strategies to the public and even monetize your strategies. What else do you think like helps you to stand out from your competitors?
So if you see, first is the permissionless aspect of it. There are very less. There are some, but there are very less permissionless protocols, and we don't see them as competitors. We are actually trying to partner with most of them. Because for us, it's not just about that users should come to us only. We want to enable the whole ecosystem first, that people get access to good deals and things like that. And the other ones, that who are offering such auto rebalances, so they are running their own strategies mostly, right? The protocol offers, for example, the smart walls and things like that. They offer their own strategy, and you can just choose from that. Here, if you see, we have specially brought people who have good experience and in management of such money. Plus, there is a liquidity alliance we have formed as well. That the strategy managers who have a good experience of 6 months and they can show profits in the strategies, we connect them to protocols for treasury management. So there is a lot of other effort also going from other than what is happening in the platform. Plus, you get limit orders, multiple ranges, all these features just at one place itself. Which usually is offering a spread across multiple platforms. So that's what we have done. And others, we don't see much competition. If you see, it's kind of a unique offering we are doing. And our main goal while developing this was also not just to compete with people, but to make it more integratable. So we were in talks with Perpetual earlier that they can onboard their liquidity through here. So these kind of things. So our vision is more towards integration and a community collaboration for this product at the moment.
Wow, that was a phenomenal answer. Yeah, I was actually gonna jump into asking about partnerships next, but that makes a lot of sense. Rather than trying to compete with everyone in the space, why not like open up the doors for integration and collaboration? Yeah, that's phenomenal. And you also mentioned that you are incorporating Chainlink and Gelato and 1inch, and yeah, I find it really cool how you guys are integrating so many things into one platform. That's phenomenal what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you so much. And actually, I think if you see, a lot of our learning has come from the other protocols that we have been doing. So we have tried to interact with the protocols that are quite new, other than only the big names. We've tried to learn their philosophy and help them also do promotions on our platform, because that's the mindset we want to bring into this industry. Because nobody knows how the system will mature more. It's not a fully mature system yet. There are so many innovations coming up and so many things that people are yet to try. So this is something we are thinking on board to be able to connect with as many protocols as possible and help them onboard liquidity as well. So that's why if you see very few protocols offer this kind of a white labeling kind of option that you can manage the pool here, but the liquidity can be onboarded by your platform. We are fine with that. So that's why we have opened the gates for anyone to come and be happy to collaborate with them in that.
Um, do you want to touch on the Liquidity Alliance a bit more? Just kind of break that down.
Yeah, so basically it has right now two components, strategy managers. So if you see the platform itself is permissionless though, right? But you do need some kind of outstanding strategy managers as a treasury protocol. For example, if I want somebody to manage 1 million, of my treasury, I would rather want a trusted name. So that's something we are doing. We're trying to connect with industry giants, verify their Twitter, and get a good history out of this, strategy platform for them. So that's what we are calling the Liquidity Alliance. One side is the trusted strategy managers, your good names and a good history. And the other is usually the protocols for treasury, like who want huge amounts of money to be managed here. Because for someone managing $100, it might be okay. But for example, if you're going with, $1 million for management for someone else, this is something different, right? You do want someone trusted. So we call that Liquidity Alliance. And the strategy managers have to sign up a memorandum of understanding with us, MOU, that they will manage the strategies and they will maintain the terms of respect. So that's a proper process we are following. A little decentralized, a little away from the permissionless part. But it's mostly, and you will know, we'll run specific events to train these people and kind of giveaways that will be alliance specific. But these will be names who have been in the industry and are more verified, not just who has just jumped in. So this is more for big management that we have created.
Sweet. What would you say to the average user who's listening in right now and thinking about becoming a strategy manager and seeing it as a appealing way to earn yield and profit off of making strategies for others? Is there any resources you would recommend them to tap into?
Yeah, right now there are mostly docs, but we are coming up with videos as well. Because what we realized is we were able to communicate, how to become a strategy manager well to the people, but what it means to be a strategy manager, the messaging around that was needed to be clear. So that's why we are revamping the website in August itself a little bit, so that this messaging is more clear. Plus, it's quite easy to become a manager. We are going to offer some default strategies. For example, if you see my strategy is a double Bollinger kind of a strategy, right? I've made two widths of overlapping bands, and it's very simple, a traditional thing, but it still beats a lot of other strategies. So these kind of offerings of default plus how to become much easier. We are bringing in more resources, but you can still check the guides on our website. But in July, that's our main focus. Within August, before August, you'll see a lot of video resources, a lot of explanation and a brand messaging that we are changing so that it becomes very easy. Because when you say Uniswap V3, it sounds complex to people, and we're trying to simmer it down with best resources we can to make it as easy as possible for people.
Sweet. Um, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like a ton of people would be interested in your platform, and I'm surprised that the audience right now isn't asking more questions, considering the unique opportunity that you guys offer. Um, what are your plans for the future? Like, where do you see yourself 6 months or a year from now? Like, how do you plan to drive adoption to your platform?
So basically, first launch that we plan to do is the mainnet launch. because Polygon test was very important for us. It has, the one of the great volumes. So the other might be to go on more chains first, and then we'll move towards these features, right? Governance, maybe improve the feedback, because right now we're not making too many plans because it's like, you are making your own plans and the industry might move a different way. Recently, you saw the beer market come, right? So we were in talks with Perpetual for their, grants program and other things, and everything just got halted. And even the competition was coming up. We were invited for the Uniswap competition, right? For the pools, 10 pools for the 1 million. So those things have paused a bit. So we have decided not to make too much big plans for 6 months. Just 2 months plan first on the rebranding and then see where it takes us, what features and feedbacks we need to add. For example, when I used my own platform as a strategy manager, I found some things are missing, and this maybe we can integrate. So we are into a research mode. But 6 months down the line, hopefully the other thing would be that we enable governance and maybe make more improvements to the system and a way for new users to come more easily and remove the scariness around Uniswap V3 that sometimes people are happy to just do V2 and add money and not understand how ranges and other things are working. That's one of the feedbacks we have received recently. So our primary target is to remove that scariness from people about Uniswap V3.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think you really touched on a really important point there. What would you say the main advantages are of Uniswap V3 over V2, like in your own words?
Uh, so if I'll mention some of the advantages V2 offer is a little bit, safety around the impermanent loss in terms of virtual liquidity that is in V3. In V2, it's very simple. You just add your money. It's an infinite range, and whatever ratio of money you have provided, you are making fees of that. And in a good volume pool, and if you have a good capital, you are making a decent amount of money, and you're free from any kind of worries about it. In V3, one of the most difficult concepts for people is to understand impermanent loss, especially for a traditional guy, right? That they don't understand how if a price is increasing, then also you can have a loss. Because impermanent loss is tricky in the terms that even if price goes up or down, there is always an impermanent loss that your assets are swapped. So this kind of a conversion, and the kind of ranges you want to choose, that makes a little bit overwhelming for the user, right? In V2, he didn't have to choose the range. He just had to look at the volume and the kind of aspects and the fee he can expect. In V3, if you can choose the range, price prediction, then there is limit order, range orders, so that is like single side liquidity. I think that's the complexity that was added, but it's also, if you understand from a technical perspective, so revolutionary, right? It has allowed you to do so many things which V2 was not able to do. So I think a lot of industry and the innovation that is happening right now is so we had a recently an AMA with DeFi Basket. Those guys are working excellent in terms of abstraction. They are very focused towards the product and they're taking a user approach as well. That right now the main thing that a user needs to understand is that these technical difficulties he doesn't need to understand. This is something that is enabling advantage for the protocol. So we as protocols or products need to make it simple for the user. Why? Because concentrated liquidity means that if you choose smartly, even with less money, you are able to make a huge APR. For example, my own strategy made 5% in 7 days. Where else can I expect, 5% within 7 to 10 days? That's not almost possible across a lot of protocols. So, and I have just used the basic, double Bollinger strategy. I have not even went into hedging, leveraging yet. So the possibilities it is opening is huge for a user. I think they just need someone trusted to do it. That's why we are moving towards this trust factor a lot in the ecosystem. For example, if I say, a big name like Keyrock is managing your money, you feel safe and you see them actively managing because it's on blockchain, the platform, everything is visible. So you feel the trust. And when you see the numbers, I think there is no substitute for that. That if you see that actually your strategy is making 30% or 40% in terms of money, these are crazy numbers that you can achieve on Uniswap V3. And I don't think V2 will be able to enable that, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely how average DeFi users, if they can have their positions managed better, they can earn more yield off smaller amounts than they would with V2. Yeah, that's a huge advantage. And it's great that you're opening up the doors for strategy managers to come along and do that for people who might not understand the technicalities of V3. All right, well, we still got a bit more time left, guys. So if you want to get in some questions, drop them in the voice chat text channel. And is there anything else you wanted to touch upon that we haven't already?
No, I think we have done most of it. I would just recommend the people to go and use it once and give us feedback. I think because I don't want to talk about my product beyond the limit, right? I want people to talk about it. And that has been the best learning for me. And we are open for suggestions. And if you see, there are so many users that use our product every day and they give us feedback. And I just want to thank them. That's how the reason we have grown so much. And hopefully, we soon touch the 10 million volume mark. That will be a good achievement as a team for us. So, good validation for us that, what we have built actually works and people are liking it. So we are just, dependent on people's feedback at the moment and, taking it small milestones at a time.
For sure. So, guys, I got all of the links in the voice chat text channel. So, if you want to go test out the app, try using some of um, the yield strategies, or even set up your own strategy for others to use, whether it's private or public, and just experiment around. Please do so. Give these guys some feedback. Their Discord is in there as well. You can follow them on Twitter, so you can follow up with them, let them know how your experience went with the app. And Adit, yeah, I see you typing there. I'm eager to hear your question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zonzi, for, hosting the event. And we'll be trying to be more active and, be posting our updates in the community as well. As soon as the rebranding is done, because that's one of the things I'm working on hard, is the rebranding and revamping of the website. So once it's up, we'll definitely touch you again and hopefully, we can present that again for the lot of
Yeah,
updates. So
definitely.
there are major things coming.
Sweet. That's great to hear. So yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back whenever you feel like is a good time to do so. Um, what's the rebranding? Are you guys still um, staying DefiEdge, or are you just changing the logo, or are you
Yeah.
going?
No, no. So rebranding in the sense in terms of brand messaging. Right now, if you see our offering sounds a little more institutional, right? Like strategy manager, LP provider, liquidity alliance. But we want to show that how even for a normal retail user, it's enabling so many features. Like I mentioned, the gas piece, right? Because we interact directly with the contract, and then there are a lot of concepts, other concepts as well. So those are the things that we want to enable. So that kind of messaging we want to be more clear. And there are recent feedback by the community that they are not able to understand some of the information we're providing on the pages. So that kind of a rebranding we're doing and revamping basically. I should have used revamping more than rebranding, I think. But the name, logo, and these kind of things.
Okay, so essentially you're just improving the product messaging and consumer messaging. That makes sense. Okay, so Aditya is wondering. He says he has not found a smooth way to convert his fiat to stable coins for yield farming. Does DefiEdge have any way of converting fiat without something like Binance being involved? So I guess he's wondering if you have any plans of implementing a fiat on ramp.
Okay, so currently we don't have any ramp to onboard fiat currencies directly to DefiEdge, but of course in future we are looking at different integrations, and of course we are gonna if it's community feedback, and we are gonna look into that, and we're gonna approach some products that of ramp on the fiat currencies to stable coins as well. So I think that's gonna be a good integration in future prospect. I hope that answers the question. If there's anything else, I'd add.
No, I think that it's the only question we had coming in from the audience today. But um, yeah, honestly, it was a phenomenal presentation. I think it's really great what you guys are doing with this, and I'm definitely curious about it myself, and likely gonna experiment with the strategy management and see if I can make something that's a little bit profitable on my own time. And I really
Yeah, sure.
appreciate having both of you here today. Um, So unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I think we're pretty good to wrap this up.
Yeah, sure. I think that's the most of the updates here. But I'd just like to thank the community and quite excited, to enable this because this is something new we are doing, right? So for us also it's new grounds, unexplored, or you can say uncharted territory. And we would love the support for all. And if you have any ideas or any apps you want us to check out, anything that are offering similar functionalities, will be a good learning for us. Our whole team is all mostly available, and open for feedback. So that will be something. And I'll wait, Zonzi, for your strategy as well. Let me know. I can help you run some personal numbers as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And make sure to follow up with DefiEdge after this. Hop in their Discord. Give them a follow on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
Thanks,
Thank you very
everybody.
much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Okay.